The triangle UFO, often referred to as the Black Triangle, is a type of unidentified flying object characterized by its distinct triangular shape. These crafts are typically described as large, dark, and silent, often with lights at each point or along the edges, which can be white, red, or blue. They are noted for their slow, deliberate movement across the sky, sometimes hovering or moving in formation, and an eerie lack of noise, which sets them apart from conventional aircraft.
Since the late 19th century, but more prominently from the mid-20th century onwards, these triangular objects have been reported globally. Witnesses range from everyday citizens to law enforcement officers, pilots, and military personnel, providing a broad spectrum of credible observations. One of the leading theories suggests these could be experimental aircraft from military projects. The United States, China, and possibly other nations with advanced aerospace capabilities might be testing new stealth technology, reconnaissance drones, or even hypersonic craft that can move in unusual ways. The silence could be attributed to advanced propulsion systems like anti-gravity or electromagnetic propulsion.
The triangle UFO has been theorized to be TR-3A Black Manta, which is a speculative surveillance aircraft purported to belong to the United States Air Force and to have been developed under a black project. The TR-3A Black Manta is one of the more popular theories among UFO enthusiasts. It's described as a subsonic stealth spy plane with a flying wing design, potentially developed by Northrop Grumman. The TR-3A is rumored to have advanced stealth capabilities, possibly employing technology for silent operation, which could include anti-gravity or electromagnetic propulsion systems. It's said to be used for surveillance, possibly providing laser designation for other aircraft, like the F-117 Nighthawk, during operations. Another technology associated with the craft is the use of plasma or ion propulsion, where ion beams or plasma fields could be used for propulsion, potentially offering high efficiency and low detectability due to minimal thermal and acoustic signatures.
One of the biggest and most widely discussed sightings of a triangular UFO occurred over Phoenix, Arizona. On March 13, 1997, known as the Phoenix Lights, witnesses reported seeing a massive V-shaped or triangular formation of lights moving silently across the sky. Some accounts described it as a single enormous object, while others saw it as multiple lights or orbs in a triangular configuration.
I'd say I saw an unidentified flying object of massive proportions float over the city of Phoenix and Scottsdale, and I don't have the damnedest clue what it was.
I saw it. It was over my house. I saw it for 5 minutes. It wasn't something that was a flash that I only saw for a second. Could it have been? I know what I saw. And I get very upset, and I was wondering why they won't find out what it was.
But there are people who said they saw things, and whenever that happens, they deserve at least an investigation, seems to me.
My office did make inquiries as to the origin of the craft, but to this day they remain unanswered. I still don't know what it was. As a pilot and a former Air Force officer, I can definitively say that this craft did not resemble any man-made object that I'd ever seen.
I saw the Phoenix Lights UFO.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You were there?
Yeah, I saw
Whoa.
that. Different people saw different things. What I saw was something the size of like an Imperial Star Destroyer from Star Wars that was like at a relatively low altitude moving over Phoenix. My housemate was like this. I mean, this is before we had phones, right? Before we had cameras. So this is like, we had a flip phone if anything. And he was like, dude, you got to get out here. And I came out the front yard of our house in Tempe, and we just watched this thing move across the sky. It was like, what the fuck, man? I believe in reincarnation because I came back from DMT thinking that I had a firsthand experience. I believe that there was something inexplicable in the sky over Phoenix that night because I fucking saw it, okay? And it was massive and it was quiet. And then it was just gone.
So what did it look like?
It looked like a massive craft not shaped like an Imperial Star Destroyer, but of that scale that was more sort of like tubular shaped, and you could
Tubular?
see, more like a tube. But you could see variations in it. It wasn't like totally smooth, and you could see by the way that it was like blocking out the stars, that you could see that there were like apparatus on it of some kind. And I always thought that it was a military aircraft where they thought they had a cloaking device. See, now that's what other people saw was these smaller things on the same night that were explained away as being some sort of military flares or weather balloons or some shit. That's not what I saw. On the same night, but I'm not the only one that saw this larger scale craft. So I always thought, like, man, that could be a military ship. They thought they had some sort of cloaking device that fucked up. It fritzed out, because that's kind of what it looked like. I could see it, and then I couldn't, So
it looked like a tube, and did it?
Well,
how big were you talking about? Like several football fields?
Yes, yeah.
Like how many football fields?
I would say like the size of a battleship. Okay,
Whoa.
Huge. Not an aircraft carrier, but the size of a battleship.